All right, fellas, today we talk about Wing Chun and joint locks. So let's just get down to the specifics. We're gonna talk a little bit about depth, go in detail about how this works. First thing I wanna talk about with Wing Chun and Chin Na is that, to me, all Wing Chun techniques are based off of your reflexes. So your Tan, that's a natural reflex. Your Bong, that's a natural reflex. Your Gan, natural reflex. Your parry hand, all this is just your reflexes. So what we want to do, you train Wing Chun to martialize your reflexes. So instead of it just coming out weak, it comes out martialized. So when he throw a punch, your technique knows what to do. So you are martializing your technique. So while you're martializing your techniques, you want to work with your reflexes. So your subconscious mind comes into play when you're dealing with Wing Chun. So when you're talking about your reflexes, when someone throws a punch at you, a sucker punch or whatever, and you're not paying attention, like he throw a punch, this is my reflex. So you are martializing that technique. So in the process of trying to study Chin Na, if you look in the book and you read about it, you'll come across the word repel in Tai Chi Chin Na. So for a Wing Chun practitioner, when you see the word repel, for us, that would be a fook. So when the arm comes out, fook. But for a Wing Chun practitioner, we would use a Taan Sau. So when you see Tan, when you see repel, Tan. So punch, Tan, which would lead you to your Wu, to the fook, easier. When you see the word cover in the Chin Na book, replace the word cover with Pak Sau. So he punched, this is your Pak. This is the cover word that they would say in the Chin Na book. So all of your techniques really gonna come from your Tan, your Pak, your Gan, which is your Huen Sau. So basically 3 techniques: Tan, Pak, Huen Sau. So let me kind of demonstrate a little bit. So when he throw a punch from the Tan position, punch, see right here. Pak, punch. So that will get you to that joint lock. When he stab low this would lead to this joint lock. So in various situations of using Tan, Pak, and Gan, I'm gonna show you a few joint locks. He throw a roundhouse low, Tan, which leads to this arm joint lock. The straight punch, which lead to the Nikio joint lock. Straight punch from the Tan, which lead to a shoulder lock. Let me show you again from this side. Punch. So you end up the shoulder lock. At this point, he can be taken down. His arm can be broken with the knee, or he could be forced to the ground and arrested and locked up. So when it comes to the Huen Sau, which leads to the Gan Sau, so a low stab, joint lock here, or to the Z lock from the inside, or see, lead to that. Also, you got to know the natural progression of a fight. A lot of times we talk about joint locks and techniques, but there's an important part within that. You have to patiently wait and let a fight progress into what it's going to progress into. So in the event that he throw a punch, I may want this joint lock. Go down. So I might want this joint lock. He may fight his way out of it, so which leads me into the next lock. So you should always have a backup lock for every lock that you're trying to do, because the person could fight his way out. So if he fight his way out of the one lock I'm trying to put him into, well, he's going to help me put him in the reverse of that lock. So again, he throw a punch, I want this lock. He fights out. He goes to the next. He helps me put him in the next lock. To be proficient at these joint locks, your techniques have to be smooth and seamless, like your Taan Sau. Like when he throw a punch, just keep punching so I can demonstrate. Your Taan Sau has to be where you're able to catch a punch. And your Pak Sau, you need to be able to catch a punch from a Pak Sau. Punch. So you have to be able to do that to get to the joint locks. When he stab low, you have to be able to follow the movement of the body of the person fighting. In Aikido, 90% of Aikido is Atemi. Atemi is I call it fabric softener, where you soften the person up. You hit them solar plexus, throat. You hit them in places where the ribs, in places where it's going to hurt. It may not knock him out, but it takes his mind off you trying to get in a joint lock. So in the event that he threw a punch and I took it here, this is my shot to take his mind off of here. So if I want this compression lock, it's here because of this fabric softener. So you can find fabric softener all over the place. He punched, that little pop right there is enough to take his mind from there back into this lock. So whole lot of cheap shots. I call it fabric softener. So you gotta soften them up. There's also attacking chin na, where I would walk in, grab the wrist, pop him there into the lock. Same way if I wanted to go outside, I would grab this wrist, pop him there. See how easy it allows me to get into the lock with that little fabric softener? So there's many ways that I can soften him up. Even if he had his hands here, I can whack in and look, thumb lock. Now, an important understanding of how I get my chin knot to work, I use neutralizing gin to slow everything down. So when he throw a roundhouse, I neutralize that. That stops him from being able to utilize that second punch because he intends to throw two punches. So when I meet that stops him, and it put pain there, and it gives me a second to redirect into whatever joint lock that I want. So I neutralize off a straight punch. See, I neutralize, that's pain, and it allows me to go into whatever joint lock that I want to. And once I start with one lock, it leads into all other locks. So hopefully I open your eyes and see that you basically only need 3 good techniques to get into all the chin knot locks. So you need a good tan, a good pack, and a good Huen Sau to get you in all of your techniques from left hand to right hand. See, if he stabbed low, stabbed over here, right into a lock. Same stab with the inside hand, right into a lock. Hope this video open your eyes and help you to learn how to get into the chin knot joint locks. Like I say, when you see the word repel, that's your Taan Sau. When you see the word cover, that's your Pak Sau. So I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. For those who would like to learn where to start learning Wing Chun, watch this video right here, how to learn Wing Chun, or watch these videos on joint locks. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one.